Hello, Julie here, and thank you for joining me here today. I would like to say thank you to all of my subscribers for subscribing to my channel. I really appreciate the fact that you do that. The comments you leave, I love them, and I always try to answer all of them. So today I'm going to be doing the Roxy's Weekly Challenge number 16. Now I'm making these for my current journal, and I'm going to make two of them, one for the first signature and one for the second signature. My current journal has two signatures. So let's get started. So I'm going to use these two Craft papers for my outsides. I'm going to make two because I'm going to make them for my journal, and to fit in this journal I want to make them 7 inches tall. So I'm going to trim these down so that they're 7 inches. That will be my starting point. So these, I can't remember whether I said or not, but these are from the Craft paper called Needle and Threads range. So I've cut them down to 7 inches tall, so they're going to fit into my journal nicely. Now, Rachel folded that way and that way. And I think I want that on the top of this one. So I'm going to fold this one this way first. And I don't want it to be right up, like I don't want it to be a third. So it's going to be less than 4 inches because my paper is of course 12 inches wide. And then I'm going to put that about like that. So then I've got, you can see that gap there, I've got room there to be able to get into anything. Okay. Now this one, what have we got on the front of this? This is the same pattern either way, so I'm going to do this one in the reverse. I'm going to fold this one in first. So about there. So I've got it lined up. And then I'm going to fold this one over. Now, I don't know how wide I'm making these, but they will fit into my journal. Well, one's wider than the other, but that's not going to be here nor there. So we can see that both of them fit in there just fine. Yep. Okay, now for the inside sections I'm going to use, I've got some avocado dyed paper that I've used a plastic doily on top of to get that pattern, and for the other one I'm going to use this music sheet. Now to start with I'm going to trim this one down a little bit because that's, well, I have to trim them both down, don't I, to 7 inches. Which way does it have to go? That way. It's going to be sideways. So I want it 7 inches this way. So let's trim that piece off first so that we're getting maximum music. Then we'll make that exactly the same height. Yeah, why not? So that's 7 inches. And there's my So now we have to, I'll trim this down while I'm at it, trim this down to 7 inches. Okay, so we'll put, which one do we want to put in which? Now on the inside of this one, so I'll put that one on the inside of that one, and that one on the inside of that one, I think. Yeah. Okay, put that up there for the moment. Now I'm going to fold this. I want a more pronounced pattern on the outside. I'm going to fold that, so if I fold that there, where's this fold? I guess that's going to be fine. So I can fold that there. It's not straight, is it? So I'll just straighten that up. The pattern's not on there straight, so that can be a bit confusing. Okay, so that's going to go on there. I'm going to trim that down because it's bigger. And so how's that? I don't want it to go right to the crease. So about there. And where's this one folding? There. So if I bring that down to about a bit more than that. Yep, that should be okay. So I'm going to bring that down to about there. Don't know if that's even straight. I think I want that a little bit more. There. Yep. That's fine. Okay. So we can have, so that one's like that. You open it like that, and like that, and then like that, and you can have a pocket in there. Or you can open it that way and have a pocket in there. I think I'll open it that way because this opens that way. That way. No, go that way because then, so we go open, open, open. Yes. Okay, so that's that one. Let me just trim this down a bit. So I'm going to line that up there, fold that there, burnish that down. And open this up, and I'm going to just make it a fraction shorter, so I'm going to make it 6 7/8. You can see there it wasn't square. That fits in there nicely. Very good. Now we're going to do this one. I don't think I want that on the end, so mind a bit of white there, but not all that. Okay, so now this one is actually wider. I'm going to fold this over by that much. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. So hopefully that's straight. And then go there, there's the fold here. We've got quite a wide one here. Hold that along that line there. So that closes in there and that closes in there. That's fine. But I'm going to trim that one down as well because it is poking out a little bit. Just going to trim a little bit off of each edge. Actually, I might do it this way. That can fit in there quite nicely. Okay, now one of the variations that Rachel suggested was to make a notepad in here. So I have got some papers here and I'm going to use these to make a little notebook to put into one of them. Now I don't know how many pages I really want in there. Probably don't want too many because I don't want to make it too fat. So I think I might just put 3 pages in there. So that's an avocado die. This is a fruit tea bag die. So that was just an assortment of different fruit teas. And this is just normal tea dye. So I think 3's enough, to be honest. So I'm going to trim these down. Which one do I want to put the book in? I might put the book in this. I might put the book in this one because this paper's a bit sturdier than this. And by sealing this up it will make it a bit stronger. So I think I'll put the book in this one. So I need to measure the height of this on each one of those pages and mark that with my pencil. Okay, so let's trim them up. the width. How wide is that? That is just over 4 1/4. So if I cut these at 8 1/2, they should fit nicely inside. So let's try one before I cut them all. Yep. Actually, I might just trim that down a fraction because by the time I get a few of them in there. So that was 8 1/2. Let's make it 8 3/8. Yeah, see how that's just got that little gap there? That will give me a bit of playroom for opening and closing that when I've got a few layers in there. Okay, so what did I say? 8 3/8. Okay, where's my pocket gone now? Here we go. So I'm going to put that one first, this one in the middle, and then this one in the centre. Okay, and then that will sit in there like that. I don't like the way that's sitting. I'm going to trim some off the bottom. I might take this over to my other trimmer and trim that bottom off a little bit because it's actually poking out below that and I'm not keen on it. So I'm just going to do that on my other trimmer that will cut through all of those layers at once. Okay, that's better. Yep, I'm happy with that. Okay, so that's going to go inside of that one, and this one is going to be an envelope. Now I want to sew around these, so I'm going to go and do that, and then when I have done that I will come back to you. When I'm sewing around here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew across there, then I'm going to fold that up, and then I'm going to sew around the whole thing. Okay, that will be all stitched up, and these I'm just going to sew around the outside edges. Okay, be back when I've done that. Okay, so there you can see I've stitched all around the edge of that, and I have stitched around my pocket. I've got stitched there all around the edge and stitched there as well. So I've stitched that closed. There's no glue on there at all. So now I'm going to stick that in there. So that opens, that's upside down. That's that way. It's supposed to be like that. Okay. So open that, open that, open that. So I've got that the right way. So now I'm going to attach that in there. Now I'm going to just attach 3 edges, and I'm going to leave this edge open. Or should I leave this edge open? Yeah, I think I'll do that. So I'll attach these 3 edges and I'll leave that edge open. I'm going to do that with my art glitter glue. I've got my hand on the edge that should be right. I'm a bit well, this is really the first time that I've worked with this flimsy paper. I'm used to working with cardstock, so it's much heavier. Now let's pop that in there, centre it top to bottom. Make sure we've got room for that to shut, so it's going to come back that way a little. Yep. And it's about even top and bottom. Okay. Use my bone folder to burnish that glue down. So now we've got a pocket there. We can open that, we've got a pocket there. Like that. Very good. Now this one, so I've stitched all around the outside of that. I've stitched all around this cover, and I have stitched the booklet into the outside. Now you can see there's 2 rows of stitching there. I stitched this into this first and then realised it needed to be stitched into this outside one as well, so I could have saved myself a row of stitching and just stitched straight into there, but I didn't think about that at the time. So there we have so with this one, it opens that way, then that way, then that way, then that way, and then we've got our booklet. Okay. Right, so I should trim, I'll trim them off after. Okay, so now what we need to do is our closure. Now, Roxy did, or Rachel I mean, did a hole with a tie through it. So I might do that. I'll put an eyelet in mine. I think I will, just an eyelet, and then tie it up. So I'll get my eyelet making gear and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm going to use my crocodile and I'm going to put some grey eyelets in here. Now this is cardstock, it's reasonably thick, so I'm not going to reinforce it. I think it should be okay. So I'm going to pop a hole in approximately the middle on both of them. And then attach my eyelet. Okay, so that's that eyelet, and now I'm going to do this one. Okay, now I've got a couple of different ribbons here. I thought that this ribbon would be a perfect match for this one, so I'm going to use that for that. I'm going to poke that through my eyelet and Rachel just wrapped hers around a bit more and tie a bow. Pretty good match, isn't it, really, for the ribbon? Okay, and you just got enough ribbon for that. And for this one, I thought I'd use some of, I don't know whether to use this green or the brown. So let's try them. Let's try the brown. It's a very light brown. I'm not a big brown fan. Oh, it looks alright on there though, doesn't it? Because there's some brown in the leaves, or like a khaki colour. Or I've got this variegated green. That would look nice with it too. I think I like the green. Yeah, I think I'll go for the green. So I'm going to thread that through there. Around through there. And tie a bow. Once again, my bow tying skills are not that great. Okay. Alright, so does that get a bit lost, do you reckon? That ribbon around there gets too lost on there. Might try the brown and see what we think. Although the brown is pretty sheer. You might need my tweezers to get back in there. Probably the reason I'm shying away from this one is I'm not really a brown person. Brown's not one of my favourite colours. What do you think? I think the brown is better actually. No, I'm not a big brown fan. Okay, I'm going to go with the brown. The green can go back, but I'm pretty happy with that one because it's just about a perfect match for that blue colour there. Okay, so now what Rachel did was put something on the back here to hold those pieces of ribbon in place. So now it's time to start embellishing, so I need to gather up some embellishments, and when I've done that I'll come back to you. Okay, so what I thought I'd do is, I've got these two pieces of offcuts and I thought I might put them on there, but I thought they can be a journaling spot to write on, whatever. Now, I thought I would use, I've got this stamp set that I got from Kmart that I haven't used as yet, so I thought I'd try using that, and I'm going to use this one out of there, and I'm going to use this Uniquely Creative stamp. It looks like that, and it's called Remember When. So I thought I'd do that one on here with the Rusty Hinge. So the Rusty Hinge is sort of a, well, rusty colour, a bit more yellow than the rust, I reckon though. And I'm just going to stamp that to the side, like so. Now I haven't used this stamp before, so I probably should have stamped it off first, make sure it works alright. Yes, I should have. Okay, I can turn that over and have another go. Or I could have used my stamping platform, I guess. Let's just get a piece of paper here and try it and see if it works now. Still not the best, but I think it will be okay. I've got a bit of ink up there that I don't really want, and a bit down around there that I don't really want. Maybe this ink pad is not the juiciest either. Okay, let's try that. Okay, a bit there that we don't really want, but now this one I'm going to stamp on here, and I thought I might do that in, I could do it in, test it first, I might do it in this vintage photo, but once again, this is not the wettest stamp pad in the shop. I'll try it on here. Oh yeah, that's alright. So I'm going to do that on this one. I'm going to wipe that ink off of there, because I prefer not to have it show up on my piece. I'm just going to stamp it to the side. Oh, nice. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to decide how big I want these pieces. So I think I might just trim that off to there. Sort of just under, leave the same amount there as I've got there. And off there. And this one, I think I'm just going to trim that off. Same amount there as there, so. Okay, so that can go there and that can go there. So what I'm going to do now is take them to my sewing machine, stitch around them. I'll do that and I'll be back. Okay, so I've stitched around those, and now I'm just going to trim those tails off a little, and I'm going to attach these to my little embellishment. So this one's going on here. Let me just check that I've got that ribbon where I want it, and pop that over there like so. So there we have a little journaling spot. You can write on here, say you're sending this as Happy Mail or something. You can write on there to, from, etc, etc. Or if it's in your journal, you can just do some journaling on it. I'm not going to attach it to a page, I'm just going to clip it in so it will be free to take in and out as you please. Trim this cotton off, and now I believe that if you run your bone folder over the back of your stitching, it smooths it out. And it does. So I'm just going to glue to this, make sure I've got my ribbon where I want it, and then stick that down like so. Over it with our okay. So there's that section's finished. Now I'm going to trim these off a bit. I don't mind strings hanging about, but they're probably a bit too much. And strings are down here. Get some of them off. I might trim them right off actually. Well, they can stay there that bit. Just a little bit on there. Okay. Let's trim some of these off. Now, Rachel also added some pockets in here. I'll think about that, what I want to add, and when I've worked it out, I will get back to you. Okay, I'm going to start with this one. Now, I haven't decided what to put on the front, if anything. I quite like the front like it is. I think it's got enough on it, but I could put something down here, but I'm not sure what. Now for the inside, I have decided to put this in here, like so. I'm going to trim that off. There that fold is. So, where's my pencil? So I need to trim that about there. And about there. So I'm just going to attach this along the bottom, and it's going to be a tuck. So try and get that. Where's that bottom mark? Got no idea, but if I get this straight, it should be alright, shouldn't it? So about like that. That is about straight. This edge of this window. So I'm going to put that there. Link around the edge of it. I'm using the vintage photo to do this. You see how much of a difference it makes. Just sort of finishes it off. It gets rid of those wide edges and makes it look like you've done a perfect job of your fussy cutting, even though I am far from that. Okay, so now where's my glue? I'm just going to attach this along the bottom. And put that in here. There's my crease. I'm attaching that fairly close and along the edge of that crease. Trying to get this so that it looks straight with the edge. I'm going to use my bone folder to sort of press that into place. Okay, now I have these 2 die cut flowers. I'll put a link to the die in the description box. I'm just going to run over these with my vintage photo. I don't want them to be white, but I don't want them to be too coloured either. So I'm just taking the whiteness off. Yep. And I'm just going to pop them on there. You probably don't want much more than that, otherwise they'll blend in too completely, won't they? But the reason I'm doing something like this on there is because, of course, underneath here we've got a writing pad, and I'm not putting anything on there because when we want to write on this page we want it to be flat. So now a bit of glue to stick this down. Just going to put a little dot on the end of each of those. That should probably hold it in place anyway. Not too sure exactly how long I want that to be, so I'm going to put that there. Yeah, I'll put the whole lot on. Like so. Get a tissue, get rid of all this excess glue. Press it down nice and firmly. And then I'm going to stick this one next to it, say something like that. Once again, just a few dots of glue on the extremities should do the trick. Keep them in place. So I'm enjoying doing the Roxys weekly challenge, although this is only the second one I've done and it's week 16, so you can see I don't do them very often, but she's got some great ideas and always something good to come back to, you know, when you're trying to think of an embellishment to put into your journal. Some great ideas. I wonder if I need to put something across there, a label or something. Got some labels here, I think. So I want a long label. Something like that might be. Yeah, I think I'll do something like that. So I want a long skinny one. That's the same thing but smaller, so I'm going to use this one. Just going to snip those corners off. I think these were a free printable, but I can't remember who had the printable. I'll have a look and see if I can find where they came from, and if I can, I'll put a link in the description box, just in case you want to go and have a look. If I can find any of the things that I've used here, I will put a link in the description box, just in case you want to have a look at them. Do I want to put anything under that, like a bit of ribbon or lace, or no, I don't want it too bulky. I don't want it too bulky. Okay, now to go behind this, I've got this piece of white embossed card. Will pop in behind there, but I don't want it to be white. So once again, I'm going to take my blending tool and just rub over it, and that will help the pattern stand out more, and it will take the whiteness off the background. Doesn't have to be even, just something, a little something in the background to take the white off. Now, do I want to do the back? I suppose slightly on the back. Now, the back, of course, is the opposite, so the indent is probably going to be a bit lighter. I could have used like coffee dyed cardstock to do this with instead of having to ink it up now, but I didn't have it handy, so there we go. So that's going to pop in behind that, like so. So we've got a journaling card there. Actually, I could sew around that. I might do that. We've got a decoration there, a little label. And in here we've got our writing pad. And I'm not going to put anything on there, as I said, when I'm writing on here I don't want to have anything bumpy underneath it. So, I could put something here to keep that closed, but to be honest, it doesn't fly open. It sits there quite nicely, so I don't think it really needs anything. Do I want something on there? I don't think so. I like it like it is. And that goes over there. And then we tie our bow. So, actually I'm pretty happy with that the way it is. I don't think I'm going to put anything on the front. I think that's enough, to be honest. Do I want something in there? Not really. Oh, really, I think it's got enough going on, to be honest. I am going to stitch around that though with my sewing machine. So I'll go and do that and then I'll be back. Oh no, I won't. I'll see what else I need to stitch around. Okay, so I'm going to call that one done, apart from that stitching. I'm happy with that. I'm going to put that aside. Now the other one, I'm going with a green theme for this one. Right, so this book paper being white, I'm quite happy to stick with white in here, but I like the green, so I've decided to use this, which came out of a book, you know, like a pot plant book, and I'm just going to trim that down a little and stick that in there. But do I want to stitch around that before I do it? Maybe. So let me trim that down to size first. I only want to cut a fraction off of that. Not that much. There's that. I might trim just a little bit more. It's about perfect, exactly the same height as the folder at the moment, but I like to allow a little bit of room for movement, and that is perfect. And I thought that I would put this down here as a tuck spot. But first of all, I'm going to trim that white border off, because I'm just going to take that back to the black. I should probably do it with my trimmer because I am hopeless with scissors. So I'm going to trim this down. Doing this left-handed because I don't want to be bothered to clear enough room to extend this lever. Okay. Little bits are annoying. Alright, so now I'm going to stick that down there and that one on there, but as I said, I think I'm going to stitch around them first, and I'm definitely going to ink around them first, so just a little bit of ink. Just helps them to stand out from the background. Well, it helps them stand out from the background, but helps them blend in too, so a bit of an oxymoron there, but it helps it blend in with more of the grunge look, I suppose. Okay, so I'm going to take these and this to my sewing machine, and I will be back when I have finished sewing around them. Okay, so I've stitched around those. I'm going to use my bone folder, wherever I've put that, to run over the backs, flatten them out a little bit. And then I'm going to attach that there. I'm going to do 3 sides. Okay. Finish that down. And this one is going to go over here. I might trim some of those cottons off. I might take those higher ones right off. And I'm going to stick that down there, just on 2 sides. I don't want to stick it along the top, do I? Okay, let's try again. So don't put it on those 2. On there. And there. When you want the glue to move, it doesn't. Okay, so we've got a tuck spot there and a pocket there. And in this pocket I've put this little notebook. Oh. So it's a dried flower arrangement on there. It's a little note card made with recycled paper and an envelope to match, so I've just popped that in there. And as I said, something can go in there, something can go in there. That closes over and that goes over there. Now for the front of this one, I had some tickets that I made in a previous video, and I made these tickets, and on there I've got glossy accents, and this is a stamp. Actually, that one is a stamp and that one's a stamp, and that's just a label that I've fussy cut out. And what I thought I would do, I've got them on a bulb pin, and I thought I would just attach them to that ribbon, and they could just sit on there like that. So that's enough decoration for the front of that. So that's that one finished. And this one, as I said, I'm just going to pop this in behind there, trim some of that off. Pop that in behind there. So we've got our, like so, we've got that with our notepad in behind. Tuck spot there. That goes over, that goes over, and we tie our bow there. And we've got our journaling spot on the back. Now, as I said, I'm going to put them in this journal. So, if I find a spot, perhaps I could attach it to the acetate, and yeah, so some of these tiny little bulldog clips, or whatever they're called, that I can put on there. That's too big, don't like that. Okay, I have got this paper clip that I made that's got a wax seal on the top, and I'm thinking that I could just put the paper clip through there, and then attach it over there. See how that goes. So that's going to hold it in place. I don't really like it there, to be honest. That acetate is way too springy. I'm actually running out of spaces to put anything in here. Might have to call it finished soon. I think it's time I went through here and decided it would fit in that pocket. And then if I attach it to, put that there and attach that with a paper clip. That would be fine. And this second one in the second, there's some more of those little dangles I made. Perhaps on there.
Okay.
So that's my project for today, Roxy's weekly challenge number 16. So I'm going to probably go back and check out some of her other challenges because I do enjoy doing her challenges, but I just don't seem to get to them weekly. So anyway, thank you for joining me here today. I hope you've enjoyed my video. If you did like it, a thumbs up would be great. Thank you. And if you're a new subscriber, thank you for subscribing. And I hope you can join me when I post my next video. Okay, bye.